All right. So good evening. I am Laura Laurie. I am not Lauren Sims. I'm actually filling in for her this evening. She had a speaking engagement this evening. So I'm going to kick us off. And I just want to run through a couple of great kudos for some folks on our team who had some rank advancements last week. So Rachel Meyer hit 2-star for the second time, which is awesome. Rick Maxwell hit 1-star Silver Circle, so kudos to him. We had a lot of consultants who were created over the last week as well, so that's super, super exciting. And congratulations to all of you who had big weeks. Who had a big week last week? Hands? Anybody have a big week last week? Big week last week. Yeah, it was awesome. So just a couple of things I want to remind people of. The Start Vision Tour, does everybody know what that is? If you know what the Start Vision Tour is, a hand. If you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, that's okay too. But our Start Vision leaders are going around the country and they are hosting events. It is posted in our Dreamers in Action page. There's one for all of you. There's Rachel. Rachel, we were just celebrating you. There's one in Denver on May 3rd, so make sure you check it out. Events change everything. So if you've not seen the Start Vision Tour meetings or events, definitely check those out on our page. We have got a really fun contest coming up. You Share, They Share. Does everyone know about that? Is there any? If you do not know what it is, would you put your hand up? All right, awesome. Hey, Adam, can I pick on you for a minute?
Yes, absolutely. Can you hear me? Because I was having trouble hearing you in the beginning.
I can hear you great. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, you sound amazing.
Would you tell us what the You Share, They Share contest is
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, I actually watched the video today. So in Isagenix Business, that's the group that this is going on in. Corporate is putting on a contest, and you have to celebrate somebody that started on Isagenix and is now starting their journey by using the hashtag YouShare. And then you get 2 points, essentially, into a contest where, and I'll give the shortened version, they're giving away a cruise for 4 people. And we don't know the details, but they're also giving away prizes. And then the idea is when that person then posts their journey, and the details are all in a really short video put on by corporate in there, they're going to hashtag they share, and again, you're going to get another 2 points. And I think they also get 2 points into a contest. And the contest begins May 1st, I believe, and runs to June 30th. So they said, feel free to post every single day. Have to use those hashtags to get entered into the contest. So there is a video that's really short that explains it in full detail. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Thank you, Adam. So we'll make sure, if you're not, and I posted this in our chat at the bottom, if you're not part of the Isagenix business page, Facebook page, join it, because there's always great information in there you don't want to miss out. You can watch the video there to get more details. Who doesn't want to win a cruise? I want to win a cruise. So definitely check that out, and we'll make sure we get that transferred over into our Dreamers in Action page if it's not already there as well. So Adam, thank you so much. And Diane Noggle, did I say her name right, Laura Hanrahan?
You said it perfectly.
Diane Noggle, she hit consultant as well, so she was one of our consultant rank advancements. So congratulations to you, Diane. And with no further ado, I am going to introduce Alex Sabot, who will be leading our call this evening. Alex will be talking with us about how to share your story. And I love that topic. I love that you picked that, Alex. I think it's awesome. Alex is one of the leaders here in our Dreamers in Action team. Alex is a Crystal executive. How many stars?
1 star.
Yay! So she's a 1-star Crystal executive with us, and she has been a leader with us now for 2.5 years.
Yeah, long time.
And he has a huge heart, an amazing story, a fantastic, not only a physical transformation, but a personal and financial one as well. So I'm so excited to have you lead this call, girl. I'm going to be quiet and let you get going.
Thank you so much, Laura. You're so sweet. I love this team. It's awesome. Before I get started, we're going to kick it off with our Spotlight product of the week. So the Spotlight product, if you guys saw it in the group, is Ionic Supreme, which raise your hand if you love Ionic Supreme. Yeah. So I'm going to holler out to my beautiful friend Alicia, and she's going to share with us her experience with Ionic Supreme.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I think
Can't hear you.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
You're good.
Hi, guys and gals. My name's Alicia, and I love Ionic Supreme. So that's our Spotlight product of the week. So if you can see it, it is my favorite. I think when I got my first 30-day supply or 30-day system, I didn't use it quite as often. But I use it every day, almost day and night. So really what Ionic Supreme is it's a natural adaptogen. It's a nutrient-rich tonic that features a blend of adaptogens that are designed to protect against daily stress. So you can use it in the morning, you can use it at night. It just really kind of follows your body's chemistry, sort of. So I usually drink it in the morning. I'll put it with either my daily greens or my daily fruits and drink it in the morning. It just gives me that natural boost of energy. I'll also drink it as a hot tea at night. So if I just had a really stressful day at night, I'll just mix it up with some water and put it in the microwave and drink it as a hot tea. And I just feel so calm and ready to just end my day. So I love it. It's also known as a whole body regulator. And so it really establishes a foundation for foundation of homeostasis rather, and helps to promote healthy aging. So really awesome product. If you haven't tried it, or if you're not using it regularly, please do, because it's amazing. So.
Thank you. Awesome. That's so good. I love that stuff. That's the happy juice. Good stuff. Thanks, Alicia.
Absolutely.
So next, I want to ask my beautiful friend Erin to share. She's going to share with us her product story. She's a busy mom of 2, like me, and has had an amazing transformation with these products. So Erin, go ahead and share with us your experience so far.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for letting me join the call, Alex, and I'm really excited to share my story. I started with the 30-day system about 9 months ago. It was a time in my life where I felt frumpy and uncontrolled and stressed out and 2 young kids and didn't know how to sort of take care of myself, and actually started with the system, met Alex at a birthday party, and I remember thinking, oh, she's so radiant and confident and she looks great and I want what she has. And so reached out through some Facebook stalking, found out that she was involved in isogenics, so decided I want to be a part of that too. So started with the 30-day system about 9 months ago, and have been using it pretty consistently ever since. And am now involved in the Bedtime Belly Buster Challenge. So yay us, that's really exciting. And the thing that has been the biggest transformation for me, in addition to releasing about 12 pounds, is I've gotten a piece of myself back. I feel in control. I find that by putting myself as a priority, it helps my family, it helps my kids. I've brought some friends along the journey with me, and I'm happy to say that 2 of my closest friends who started with the products in October have released a combined total of 100 pounds. So very, very exciting. Happy to have them in my daily life to share in our journey. We motivate each other. We're doing this workout routine where we're working out at least 3 minutes every day during the Bedtime Belly Buster Challenge, which is exciting for me because I haven't been working out since 5 years ago when I first had my first daughter. So very, very exciting. Happy to be a part of the group. Really excited to be part of this call and looking forward to hearing all of your stories. So thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being so vulnerable with that. It's an emotional journey. So thank you for sharing. It's awesome. And then last, I would love to have Megan, who has quickly become a leader in the team. She has helped others, many others, get started with these products, and has since built some sort of a very good residual income with these products and with this business. So I'd love for you to hop out and share your opportunity story with us and how this has changed your life financially.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay? Good. So I will tell you that when I started using the products about a year ago, I told Alex, absolutely not. I am not doing the business. I love my job. I don't need to leave my job. I'm totally fine. So I continued, and she forced me to go to Celebration. And that was a complete game changer for me. And it was listening to David Wood speak about building a legacy and what kind of environment and culture you want your kids to grow up in. And right then and there, I was like, all right, I'm doing this. Let's go. Because I want my kids to be around all of this, because it was just truly amazing. So since then, I have started just sharing with others. And before Isogenics, like I said, I have still have a good job that I love and will never quit. But I was always kind of very conservative about money. You know, we couldn't really do the extra things. We couldn't do, it was worried to put my kids in daycare or things like that. Sorry, I'm getting feedback. So I couldn't put my kids in daycare, extracurricular activities or anything. Was always just kind of worried about that. And now, since starting to share and build my business, I am creating a residual income that monthly we're getting extra money. And now we don't have to worry about telling my son that he can't do swim lessons or soccer. Or, I'm starting my daughter in a school next week that we're not really too worried about having to put her in and spend that extra money. So it's been a stress relief and kind of a big, deep breath of fresh air, not having to worry about all that. So,
well, it has been amazing to watch you go through that journey too. So amazing job. And we're so proud to have you on the team. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I love being on this team. Everyone is so amazing. I wouldn't want it any other way. Thank you for making me go to Celebration.
No problem. No, pay it forward. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into the call. And I love that we just shared all these stories, because now we're actually going to get into the nitty gritty of how to share your story, how to be efficient with it, how to be meaningful with what you're saying, be very purposeful in how you say things. And so we're going to dive into that. But before I do, I want you to always think about, like Megan was just saying, this is a legacy company for all of us. We're all building this for a reason, and we want it to be around forever. So when it comes to sharing your story, one of the biggest things to remember is to be compliant. And I'm going to say it right up front, because I think it needs to be at the forefront of your mind when you're sharing your story. Everybody's story is going to be amazing, because you guys have all been through a huge transformation in all parts of your life, but you have to make sure that you're sharing it correctly. So for those of you that have been to events and trainings, you've heard these things many times. And so I want to just reiterate it, remind you, when you're sharing Isogenics, you never want to have any sort of promised results, right? You don't want to guarantee that things are going to happen, whether it's weight loss, athletic performance, financial goals, or money earned. You never want to guarantee any of that, because everybody's results are going to be different. You have people coming from very different backgrounds, very different health backgrounds, and you never want to promise anything. Okay, so compliance-wise, you just don't want to do that. You just want to be very truthful in your story, and you never want to claim ever that these products cure, diagnose any sort of illness or disease. We are literally talking about amazing superfoods. We are not curing anything, ever. It's a big one. You may feel like it's changed your life in many ways, that you can't say, because you cannot say that Isagenix has cured diabetes. You can't say that. We can't prove that. What we can prove is that Isagenix makes you feel amazing. So just make sure that when you're sharing your story, you're not claiming that you have been cured of anything. You are literally talking about superfoods, not medication. So just be very clear about that. It's very important. At most of the events that you're going to attend in the future, you're going to have a lot of training just on this piece specifically, because it is so important. So make sure that if you're taking notes, make note of that. But let's get through that piece of it. But we're going to dive into how do you break up your story so that it's an easy template to follow. For those of you that have been to one of the Core 4 events is University in Action. There's actually one next week in Vancouver that we're flying out to, a few of us on this call. And it's hosted by the amazing David Wood. And he coaches you on how to formulate your story so that you have a template to follow, so that you don't find yourself in a place where you're not being compliant, and that it's easy for you to remember offhand when you're having a conversation with somebody in line at Starbucks. It'll just pop into your head because you've got the template. So we're going to break that down tonight. Some of you, like I said, may have done this before, which is great. So this is going to be a good reminder for you to sort of tweak your stories, make them, the way you want them, more effective. And then for those of you that have never done this is going to change your world. So let's dive into it. If you have something to write with, you're going to want that, because you're going to be taking notes on this for sure, so that you can fill it in later. So when we break down the story, obviously the goal is to connect with people, right? So you have pieces to your story in which you're going to connect with parts of their story without even knowing it. So the first part of breaking down your story, there are 5 pieces. And the first part, you're going to start with before Isagenix. So before Isagenix, I was overweight. Before Isagenix, I was exhausted. Before Isagenix, I couldn't keep up with my kids. I didn't have enough energy to keep up with my kids. You're going to start listing out your pain points. And when you list out your pain points, you're connecting to their pain points without even saying anything about what they're going through. So right then and there, you've said, I've been there, I've done that. This is what I've done to get better. So I want you to remember that. So the first thing you're going to have in there is before Isagenix. So before Isagenix, and then have 2 or 3 things that you dealt with before Isagenix, and just list those out. So you'll have your before Isagenix, and then after that you want to go into, so number 1 was before Isagenix. Number 2 is I was then introduced to Isagenix by. It is very important that you talk about being introduced to it and who introduced you, because people are drawn to relationships. So if I said to you, I was introduced to Isagenix by my good friend Sarah. Sarah and I had been friends for years, and she had had an amazing transformation, and I couldn't wait to find out what she was doing. They can relate to what you're saying, right? And you're sharing it now with them, so they can see that this is something that happens frequently. Okay, so that's an important piece. So number 1, before Isagenix. Number 2, I was introduced to Isagenix by, okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, I have been using the products for X amount of time. This is important for people so that they can put it into context. Okay, they want to know, how long have you been using the products? Are you still using the products? Or is this just a 1-week thing that you're trying out, right? So if you can give them context of how long these products have been in your body, that's going to help, okay? So if you can say to them, I've been using Isagenix products for 6 months consistently, and I've noticed a difference. They're going to resonate with that. They're going to think, okay, this is something, because clearly she's still using it. He's still using it. It must be working, okay? So that's another important piece. Who introduced you and how long have you now been doing it, okay? Then you're going to bring them back out to the positive stuff, okay? So you've taken them through their pain point. They're wishing and hoping somebody would introduce it to them, and now you're coming out of it, right? So now you're going into, now that I've been on Isagenix, the result has been X, Y, and Z. You're going back to your pain points, and you're listing out the solutions that it has given you. Okay, so I've talked about, I felt overweight. Okay, so my first solution from using Isagenix, I can now fit into my pre-pregnancy clothes. I am now at my goal weight, whatever you want to say, but you want to show that the products have created a solution, right? So you're mirroring what you've already said to them was your pain point. That's important. You don't want to be scattered all over the place. You want to keep it consistent. You need them to see that your pain points were directly fixed by these products, right? So your weight loss. I was an exhausted mom. Now I wake up every morning with amazing energy. Okay? So number 4 is to relist out those pain points, but what was the solution? What came out of it? Okay, so it's an important piece as well because you want to show them that you've seen an improvement. Okay, lots of people are writing, so I'm going to slow down a little bit. Number 5 is sort of your reflection on the whole journey. You're bringing it back home, back to the present, and you're going to talk about how you feel. Now I realize, now I feel that I could never live a day without having these products in my body. Now I realize how uncomfortable I was before Isagenix. Now I realize how much energy I didn't have before Isagenix. But you want to bring them back to that feeling, okay? So you're taking them back to the pain point, but now you have come out of it and you've had success. So then they're going to start to think, okay, well, if I can do this, I'm going to come out of it and I'm going to have this realization that I should have been doing this forever, right? You're bringing them with you through the story. There's ups and downs in the story and you want to do it that way. But the cool thing about this story is that it's literally 30 seconds. It's short. Okay, so that's the purpose of making your bullet points. So having your number 1, listing your points. And you're going to practice these so that when people ask you what's your experience, you'll be able to just rattle it off because you know it already. You've already bullet pointed it. It's in your brain. You know that you felt overweight. You felt exhausted. You weren't running your marathons as fast as you wanted to, whatever it is, right? And you want to make sure that those things are at the forefront of your mind. So the template is going to help you with that as far as just having those, having those in your mind already. So the other thing about these stories is, and I'm going to post this template into the event as well so you have it. But the other thing about this template is that it's versatile. So you can use it for weight loss. You can use it for healthy aging. You can use it for energy and performance. You can use it for the financial side of this if you want to. And what's best is that you have a story for every solution. Because I could be walking through Starbucks and I could end up in line next to Tommy the bodybuilder, right? And I can't relate to him. I don't do that. But I can obviously talk about, oh, I tried these amped products. They really helped with my workout. That works, right? Pull onto something that you have done that will relate to them. Or share somebody else's story. This guy, Bob, on my team, he's a bodybuilder, and this is what he did. And you can use the same template. Same template. Always repeat the template. Because otherwise, you're going to start to verbal vomit. The last thing you want to do is verbal vomit. You want to get your story out quickly, and then the best part is that then you stop talking. So you want it to be concise. You want it to be meaningful. You want it to be emotional, whatever it needs to be, but you want it to be short and sweet. Stop talking. Because you're not going to connect with people by sharing your story. You're going to connect with people by listening to theirs. So the second your story is out there, they know your experience, you let them talk. And that is the most important part of this whole process. We want you guys to have stories in your head so that you can trigger their emotions and trigger their thoughts so that the second your story is done, they're ready to ask questions, they're ready to share their pain points, and you can listen. And you just by doing this, just by creating this environment, you've created trust with this person. Okay? If you're just talking, sharing your experience, talking about every product, going through all the ingredients, talking about the compensation, blah, 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 you've lost them and they're not coming back. So you want to make sure that you're using this template to shorten your story, make it so meaningful, and then let them talk. And that is the most important piece of this whole thing. Okay? So I want to quickly, just because we flew through that, I want to give you an example of what a 30-second story would sound like, just so that you guys can see how I've kind of put that together, okay? So I'm going to start with my weight loss journey. And I have multiple stories that I've practiced over the last 2 years. So I'm going to start. I really want to make this quick, but I want them to hear the right pain points. Okay, so this is my 30-second weight loss story. Okay, before Isogenics, I was overweight. I could not fit into my clothes. I was exhausted and I could not keep up with my kids. And I had lost all self-confidence. So many moms can resonate with that. I had lost all self-confidence. Okay. Erin even said that in her 30-second story tonight. It's such a huge, people will resonate with that. Okay. All right. But I was introduced to Isogenics by my good friend, Sarah. She had been using the products for a few months and had amazing results in those first few months. And I could not wait to find out what she was doing. I have now been using the products for over 2 years. And as a result, I am now fitting into my pre-pregnancy clothes. I have so much energy when I wake up in the morning. I can keep up with my kids. And I have never been so comfortable in my own skin. I now realize how sad I was and how lost I was because I didn't have a solution. And now I know what my solution is, and I will never go a day without these products in my body. Stop talking. Let them talk. That's it. You keep it simple. Okay. So I'm going to do another example. This one is more for the opportunity. Okay. So before Isogenics, my husband and I lived paycheck to paycheck. We fought constantly about money and got to the point where we couldn't even afford Christmas presents for the kids. I was introduced to Isogenics by my good friend Sarah, who had been using the products and then somehow was making this residual weekly income that she was using as her fun money and going out and getting her nails done while I couldn't even afford to pay for Christmas. I had to know what she was doing. I have now been using these products for 2 years, and as a result have shared this with numerous people and now make a weekly residual income. My husband and I now no longer live paycheck to paycheck. The financial strain has lifted, and my kids are getting the life that they deserve. I now realize that I never want to go back to that life because this vehicle has changed everything. Done. Let them talk. So I want you guys, like I said, I'm going to post this template in the group or in the event. And I want you guys to fill it out. I want you to legitimately fill it out for multiple solutions, multiple stories. You guys, you have all different stories and you each have multiple stories. So I want you guys to practice this and really think about what this has done for you. Because until you really understand what this has done to change your life, you're not going to connect with other people the way you need to. So you really need to dig deep and start putting these stories together. And just keep playing with it and see what feels good and how does it feel to share it this way and how does it feel to share it this way, and test it on each other. Like call each other up and say, can I practice my 30-second story? It's so easy, especially with us, because this is a safe space to practice those things and tweak it and help each other out, because it really is going to change the way you share this with people and the way you bring people into this experience. But really try to tap into as many different parts of your life as possible. Talk about your energy. Talk about weight loss. Talk about the opportunity. Are you making money? Have you cycled already? What kind of money have you made? Think about those impacts that you've had so that you can have multiple stories to reference when you're having a conversation with people. Okay. So that is where I'm going to wrap it up. I don't know if you guys have any questions. This is something that I think will be an ongoing thing for you as you're practicing this. But it's ongoing for all of us. We're always changing. We're always coming up with new stories because the journey doesn't end, right? So we just keep growing. But if there are any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and hop out and ask. Otherwise, I will wrap up the call. Awesome. Cool. You guys are great.
Hey, I have one.
Tuesday. Go ahead, Chris.
I think it's important for some people that may not, like maybe you don't work out at the gym a lot, or maybe you're not a runner, but it's okay to say, I have an incredible friend. He is a runner. He is doing this and that. Somebody else's story can be relevant to what you're sharing. It doesn't have to be something you personally experienced.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. That's so true. And there's so many people in this group that would help you even and get on a three-way call and share their story, because some people have experienced things that you haven't, and that's so true. Thank you for saying that. Anybody else want to add?
Alex, I'll add something.
Yes, go for it.
This is a really, really great way to connect with people, because if you reach out to them and say, hey, I know this is not at all for you, but I've been introduced to something and I'm really trying to practice so that I can share this with as many people as possible. Would it be okay if I just run my 30-second story by you and you give me feedback, and you take it totally off that, hey, I'm not trying to sell you, I'm not trying to reach out, I'm not even doing it for you, all I want is the feedback on the story? Creates so much curiosity. Like, why would I not be interested in? That sounds amazing. Tell me more about it. It's an awesome way to break out of your comfort zone and start connecting with people.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's such a good tip. I know we've all done that. I think even at University in Action, David Wood has you do that during one of the breaks. Go call as many people as you can and practice your story. Just tell them they need to listen and give you feedback. And it's amazing how many people say, wait, I want to know more. So it's such a good point. Thank you, Rachel. Anybody else? Who else wants to add gems?
So one of the things, I think it was on the Trudy Maple call, she said that she drives around and she practices in the car just talking to the air to just practice her story.
That's awesome. What a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Laura. That's awesome. Great idea. I had somebody record themselves telling their story, and then they would just listen to it in the car. So I love that. That's awesome. Anybody else? Any questions? Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited for all of you. I mean, it's just, we have so many exciting things coming up in this team. So,
Alex, thank you. Thank you for sharing. That was absolutely incredible. And I'm sure there's so many of us who took away some incredible nuggets. Number one, for me, is the importance of listening. So sometimes we want to just talk, and we don't do enough listening. So that was a huge takeaway for me tonight as well. So thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that wisdom with all of us. I hope you all took great notes, and you're going to be practicing sharing your story. Does anyone have anything else they want to ask questions about before we wrap it up tonight? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. You know, when you show up, you go up. So thank you all. Have a wonderful evening and rest of your week.